I would like to welcome everybody here tonight on behalf of the board. And I see that most everybody's employed here, and our health department expert here.
Nursing supervisor.
Yeah, nursing supervisor, that's right, yes. Will give us a good report here in a little while. But anyway, welcome everybody, and please stand for the pledge and remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated, please. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Motion by Mr. Davidson. Second by Mr. Clark. Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion passed. Are there any additions to the agenda? Would anyone like to remove any item from the consent agenda so that it might be discussed before discussion? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make
A motion by Mr. Joyner, second by Mr. McClurkin. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passed. Dr. Byrd, Director of Instruction report.
Thank you, Mr. Marty. In your packet, we provided a handout that looks like this, called Textbook and Curriculum Information. When we have parents or community members that ask for this information, we have all of it posted on our website, and just wanted to provide you a copy of the information as well, in case community members or someone calls you and asks you about it. But our current, just to let you know, our current list of adopted textbooks, as well as our pacing guides, are linked to the district webpage, and the links are on the handout. And the handout also provides information on our textbook adoption process, as well as links to the Tennessee state standards on which our local standards are based. So anyway, just want to give you that information tonight and let you know that all of that is on our website for the public to access. The only other thing I have, also in your packet, there is an agreement with ACT that I need to just briefly discuss. The price for test administration is the same as last year. It's $37 a student and comes through BEP funds. And Mr. Chairman, I will need a motion to approve that agreement.
Do we have a motion to approve the ACT testing agreement? Motion by Ms. Mizell, second by Mr. Davidson. Are there any questions about it? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passed.
That's all I have unless someone has questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Dr. Byrd. Dr. Fisher, Director of Operations.
Good evening. Tonight we have Sarah Marion with us, who's our Lavana nursing supervisor, and she's just going to share the current data on COVID with you. And I don't have anything unless you have a question of me. Ms. Sarah? All right, so last week, the week of November 30th, which is the week after Thanksgiving, we only had 8 student positives and 5 staff positives. The only other update really is that the CDC and the Tennessee Health Department have updated their quarantine guidelines, which we have adopted. I can explain it if you want to. So just let me know, or if you have any questions. No? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Peggy Murdoch.
Well, you know, I don't think I've ever been up here at this podium this early.
But I hope I don't ruin the night for y'all. Good evening. I do have a few things for you. Dr. Combs has something. Do you want to talk before I talk? Or? Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to give you is the financial report. Oh, let me take this off. And if you will, look at 141, our revenues for the month were $7,727,000.
46514. That is 9.1% of our revenues. You can see that through the months accrued, we have taken up 34.8% of our revenues. On the expenditure side, we have spent $6,704,616.74, which is 7.8%. So we are 31% of our expenditures have been taken care of. Any questions on 141? All right, 142, they received $547,725.39, which is 6% of their revenue expected. And they spent $544,027.47, which is also 6% of their expected expenditures. 32.2 for their total revenue and 36.2 for their expenditures. So they're pretty much on target, which is right where federal ought to be. Questions on federal? All right, Fund 143, the cafeteria, they have received $337,852.90, 5.6% of their revenue, and they have spent $399,459.36, 6.9% of their expenditures. They're still running a little ahead on their expenditures for over their revenues, but that is the way the cafeteria runs. So Mr. Glass is not really concerned. He thinks he may make it to a zero, which is what we're hopeful. Any questions on the cafeteria? Remember, we're feeding everybody for free, and so the revenue coming in is coming in with a different stream of pace, I guess. Capital projects, of course, we don't receive anything in that 177, but we have spent $98,985.13, which leaves in that fund about $325,000 that has to be spent hopefully this year. Any questions about 177?
Yeah,
Okay.
how much of that is allocated to the field house?
My best guess is out of that $325,000, there's $100,000 that belongs to Munford High, $100,000 that belongs to Brighton that they have not yet spent, and then the remainder, about 120 some odd, goes to Covington.
Okay.
Does that answer?
It does,
Okay.
and this is not, but while we're on that subject, have they finished, do you know if they've finished the?
I believe the concession stand is done.
We just did the final checklist the other day. I went through it with Barnett, and it's finished. It looks really good. So we finished it, and then we went over and we're looking in the homeschool area, and we walked through that, and I talked to JR and Mark and walked through that with Barnett, and they've torn down a lot of those walls already. And we were going through yesterday to see when I asked Mark to let us know when the band group determines what they're moving over to the new concession stand, so that we can start gutting the rest of it.
Okay.
But that stuff has to go next because it's in the way.
What about that roof? Is it, the roof over the homeschool gym building, is it in good shape?
Yeah, right now it's okay. One of the biggest things though is we're gonna have to put some supports, if we put more units on it, there'll be different supports we have to have. They've already run some conduit and all that stuff for inside, but that'll be kind of a work in progress. And again, we're doing a lot of that with our own maintenance guys.
Yeah.
So it won't necessarily be coming out of that 120.
Okay.
It looks good though. If you haven't seen it, you can go and look at it.
The concession stand?
And it's concession stand in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, I went by there, it's been a little while back now, but it did look really good. Rodney office paid me through the building and everything.
Right, yeah. I mean, any of y'all get a chance to look, you need to take a look at it. It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice.
That's awesome. I'm glad to get them wrapped up.
Absolutely.
Do we have a motion to approve the financial report? Motion by Mr. Joyner, second by Mr. Clark. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passed.
All right, so the amendments that we need to look at today all come from 141. And we have received 2 different grants. Ms. Lisa Bradford and Dr. Fisher have worked on those grants, and of course, the middle school folks as well. The first one is a USDA RUS grant, Rural something, utilities, okay, service. So that RUS grant is going to bring in close to $1 million, and the middle school STEM grant is going to bring in right at $40,000. So we've been real fortunate to get those 2 grants. When I looked at everybody else that was getting the middle school grants, we were in the minority. There are not very many people getting it. 39 schools or something like that? But anyway, we're very, very fortunate to get that. So kudos to those who wrote it. So if you'll look on the second page, under revenue number 46980, that's where the money from the STEM grant will go, and that's $39,967. And then in the next batch, you'll see 47114. That is our USDA revenue code, and that's where the $976,742 is going to be receipted. That is a reimbursable grant, so we have to buy and then request our reimbursement. The STEM grant is not that way. They're going to give us the money, and then we'll report on how we spent it. So all of those numbers carry down to an additional $1,016,709 that has been added to the budget. In 7-1100, where you see those numbers on the next to the last column to the right, that's where we're going to spend the bulk of the STEM grant, $9,070 for teachers, $555 for Social Security benefits, $909 for retirement, $130 for Medicare, and $125 for the hybrid retirement. And then on the next page, you'll see the $21,489, and that is for instructional supplies. They'll be doing all kinds of STEM projects, and that's the money that will take care of that. And then if you look down to the 722, 6,000 and some odd dollars is of that 983 is for the STEM grant, and the rest is the 976 that's for the USDA grant. And so the only other change in the budget, I think you remember maybe last year, could have been the year prior, we started, SPED started working with Stellar Therapies to collect Medicaid for speech services, and they have finally started paying money. We went last year with no money at all, and so we're moving some money around to receipt that the expenditures for the 30%. So that's what that 16,000 is taken out of the teacher line. They had extra money there and put into the 399 for paying of Stellar Therapies. And you can keep on turning, but there's nothing else on that column. So I thought about not even printing it, but I thought maybe you wanted to see it. So if you'll look at the last page, you can see that we have allocated all the money that we've added. So that $1,016,000 has all been allocated.
Do we have a motion to approve the amended budget amendments? Motion by Mr. Davidson, second by Mr. Clark. Are there any questions about it? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passed.
And the only other thing that I have, Dr. Combs wanted me to give you an update on our numbers of people, not that have COVID, but who have been quarantined and or isolated. And as of today, we have had 330 staff members who have been either isolated or quarantined. As of December the 1st, the total that we have accumulated salary-wise is $303,506.62. So my estimate is very, very close to $500,000 by the time we get finished. We still have multiples to process that have not been processed for the month, 83 that have not been processed for the month of December already.
Now, you're talking about the
Paydays,
the
10 paydays,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
And so those days mount up, and that's the figure as of December 1.
Are we eligible for any of that?
Not that I know
paycheck
of,
protection
Mr. Clark, not that I know of. It's an unfunded mandate. We all know what that means, and I have not heard that CARES money will give you back that. I keep my ears open. I've got a webinar tomorrow that is going to talk about what these couple of lawyers are predicting will happen next year. I feel like somewhere along the line, if Congress can get together, they will extend this or add a new law, but it's not cheap.
Did we apply for the PPP loan?
The what?
The Paycheck Protection Program?
I don't think it's full government.
Okay.
It's more for small businesses, well, business.
Right.
And I guess we're not really a business. I think so. But no, we don't fit in that category.
Okay.
We have applied for some return, but I have not heard anything from that. And I don't have any idea. We do have the state, half of our unemployment has been taken off, but that's really doesn't apply to us because we go through U-Trust, so that's not really an issue for us. But the things that they won't let you do are all the things that we had done. So that return is not really going to help us much at all.
Right.
But any other questions for me? All right, thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Cole?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned in my previous email to y'all, it's going to be my recommendation that we give our staff a bonus. So I'm going to read this to make sure that I'm wording it exactly as I mean to say it. My recommendation is to give a one-time bonus of $1,000 for full-time certified staff and $750 for full-time classified staff. After working this through the proper channels, we hope to release the bonus in February, so it'd be a nice Valentine's present. That would be a total of $1,315,336 and some change. 1.3 million of that would come out of fund balance, and then we would fund the remaining 15,300 and whatever through our own channels here. But that would give, again, let me say that again, that would give all full-time certified $1,000, and it would give all full-time non-certified $750. And as you know, I mean, this has been a year that just unbelievable, and they've really risen to the occasion and done some really good things, all of them. I mean, every staff member we have, and so for those full-time that really been here digging in, especially, we wanted to reward them with something. I thought that'd be a good way that we could all, y'all included, show appreciation for that. But it will take until February because we have to go through a number of channels. If y'all decide to vote on that today and do that, then I'll take it to the Finance Committee in January, and then the full committee after that. So January we'd have to get all their approvals to pull it out of fund balance, and then we'd be able to get it all processed through bookkeeping and get it to them in a separate check, a separate deposit, I guess it would be. Separate deposit in their account in February.
Y'all heard the recommendation. What's the will of the board on this?
I think it's good.
I think they deserve every penny of it
I
myself.
think, too, I've talked to a few teachers, I've talked to a lot of parents. They don't understand how we keeping stuff going, or how y'all keeping it going. It's just, it's just our own battle from one week to the next, and they talk about how the kids come home, they feel safe with the kids coming home. So, I mean, whatever we give them, they deserve that, probably more.
I think so too, and they really stepped up. Everybody has, the whole crew, all the way through, has really done well this year, and it shows too. I mean, hey, we're doing good. Our kids are doing well, and that's good.
This many people that they say has had it and stuff, and somebody got to step up in that spot, so it just creates a bottleneck. So,
Right.
I mean, I think our teachers, the staff here, everybody has done an outstanding job. And like I say, I'd rather give them more if we could. It's fine with me.
Try to leave a little bit there for capital improvement too.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation as presented by Dr. Combs?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Joyner, second by Ms. Rozelle. Are there any questions about it?
Just out of curiosity, where are we on fund balance right now?
We're good. I'd have to check. Do you know where our last statement on fund balance
How
was?
it goes, Mr. Clark?
It moves.
It
I would
does.
say no less than 18 million. My last report that I got at the beginning of November was much higher than that, but that's a false positive.
Yeah.
And I'll say
Good
this
terminology.
too, I'll say this too, Steve, when I spoke with Mayor last week too, our revenue's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very impressed with our revenue stream too, so I mean, we're doing okay.
Yeah,
And our fund balance is about where it usually is anyway, around 18 million.
It is
And
right
that's
And
enough.
we've been peeling about $1 million or so off every, just for capital improvement.
Yeah, well, that's-
And we want to keep on doing
that's
it.
why I asked, because
Yes, sir.
we pulled some out from roofing, and I'm all for it. I want to give the teachers a raise.
That's a good
I mean, opposed, but I didn't want to just hear that, you know.
Yes,
Other
sir.
question?
Yes, sir.
Y'all, if there's not any other questions, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion passed.
Just a couple more things. I'll have a revised capital improvement plan. That was a good lead-in. You know what I was gonna say? I'll have a revised capital improvement plan for you to see in the January meeting. I was gonna have one for you now, but with a couple of bids and a couple of things we have, we ran into a couple numbers that I don't like, and so we're gonna redo a couple of those. But I should have something for you to see capital improvement wise in January, so you can see the remainder of what we're probably gonna need to ask for this year from fund balance and then the next couple of years, because it was a 5-year plan. And that will include some roof stuff, some HVAC stuff, some more painting. Mr. Joyner, just for you, I wanna let you know that, Mr. Barnett is meeting with the resurfacing guy for the tennis courts Monday of next week. We're gonna do Munford High and then do Bright 9. So that's definitely, up there in the top. You're welcome. And we're gonna start, showing those. And then the other thing is, if you'll look in your folder, you should have your retreat schedule. One of the, I know y'all want to continue with the Board of Distinction. That's quite an honor, especially due to the fact that you've already done all of it. I mean, you've done everything but like 2 things, right? Just showing up at the meetings and you're already all there. So all you need to do is a board retreat. And then we're going to have an evaluation deal that, the chair will talk to you about that. But if you'll look at, this is a draft of an agenda that I put together and have some speakers coming to meet with you on February the 19th. It'll be at the EMA building. We can socially distance there because it'll be only us. We can spread out in the seats there. And if you look at that, I'll have a little overview. And then Ms. Sherry Yarbrough will speak on public health. Chief Deputy Billy Doherty will be there to talk about some things as far as partnerships and some things the Sheriff's Department is doing. And then for lunch, it's a long lunch, but it's also time for y'all to go ahead and do your self-evaluation. So you can go ahead and get that done during the retreat, which would be good, kind of knock out 2 things there at the same time. And then Dr. Bird and Mr. Macklin contacted a teacher for us, Ms. Hannah Stedman at Mumford High School. And she's going to have a demonstration on Instruction 101 in 2021, what that looks like. And you will all have laptops, and she's going to go through kind of what a lesson looks like during this. And then Brandon Armstrong, he's with College Readiness. He's going to talk to you about GM Network of Access Points, which is basically helping us place our kids in different places once they graduate, in some work points. And then Mr. Marty will end it up with the wrap-up and then board reflection at the end. So February 19th, I think, is a pretty good date. It's a Friday. And, I wanted to give you plenty of time and let y'all look it over and see what you think. If there are any major conflicts with it, the only other place this is on my document list on my computer, so I can change some of it. But these folks have already been contacted, already agreed to come, and they're ready. So anyway, just to give you that heads up.
Good.
And that is all I have, except for when you leave, make sure you take your gifts, and each of you grab a stocking on your way out.
I want to thank the board for the gifts that they have given us, and I want to wish everyone here a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And does anyone else have anything? If not, do we have a motion? Do we have a motion to?
While 220, I'll be glad when 220 is gone.
Yes, exactly, yes. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Clark, second by Ms. McClurkin. We stand adjourned.